Greetings. I'm Dr. Sudhir Prabhu, a founding member of Stars Forum. A warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Stars Forum as we begin our 11th annual conference. Normally, Stars Forum holds a 3 days in-person annual event. But this year, obviously, we have had to improvise. The virtual format effectively has allowed speakers and attendees to participate from across India and also internationally. I bring you warm greetings from the United States. So, it's good evening to most of you, good afternoon to those from Europe, and good morning to the attendees from the US. The conference is spread over the next 5 days from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. India time. Each day is devoted to a different relevant subject of practical importance to socioeconomic development of the disadvantaged rural populations. The objective this year is to highlight innovative approaches, showcase promising models, underscore the role of technology, and share success stories in rural transformation to help us all better understand and navigate the challenges of our field that our field is facing during the current pandemic crisis and is very likely to be confronting in the post-COVID period as well. Since many in the attendance today may not be very familiar with STARS Forum, please allow me to introduce the organization very briefly. So what I'll do is I'm going to share my screen and go over a couple of things. STARS is an acronym for Skills Training Advancement in Rural Societies. It's a nodal organization. Its mission is to be a collaborative body for mutual support of those, all those engaged in, whether individuals or NGOs, engaged in vocational skills, knowledge-based and entrepreneurship-driven development of rural communities, facilitate advances in this field, and promote innovative approaches to reach larger disadvantaged populations. Broadly then, this translates into several defined objectives. To serve as a platform, a catalyst for networking and knowledge dissemination, for collaborations and partnerships at many levels with affiliate nonprofits and individuals working in this field, to help advance innovations and the use of technology so that we can reach larger numbers of people as effectively as possible, to assist affiliate member organizations enhance effectiveness and their capacity, empowering them, to nurture future leaders and advocate for policies to advance our sector and essentially the impact we want to make to the population that we are serving. STAR utilizes various means to advance these objectives, including our website, the social media, workshops, conferences, distant learning modules such as webinars and YouTube, and actively connects organizations and collaborations for collaboration, partnership, and capacity building. Affiliate membership. We invite and request you to become an affiliate member of STARS to participate and take full advantage of its collaborative structure for mutual benefit. There is no fee, just your consent. If your organization is not a member already, you will receive an email with an invitation and details. We look forward to your joining the STARS family of like-minded organizations all over India and all over the world. Please free to contact us. We invite you to visit our website and access our YouTube channel for conference presentations and webinar recordings. Some housekeeping tips. Please type any questions you may have in the Q&A box and not in the chat box. The raise hand feature will not be active. Please use the Q&A box. We'll take up questions after the last presentation and try to cover as many as possible. If any remain unanswered due to time constraints, we will make sure that the answers reach you on email after screening. after the meeting. I'm going to stop my screen share. Let us proceed with the inaugural address. I'm most delighted to introduce our distinguished speaker, Padmashri Dr. Kshama Metre, or Kshama Didi, as she is known to us fondly. She is the founder and national director of CORD, or Chinmaya Organization for Rural Development. CORD was initiated in Siddhibadi in Himachal Pradesh and currently covers over 900 villages, including in Orissa, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh. Dr. Metre left a flourishing pediatrics practice in New Delhi to work in the rural healthcare services after being inspired by the world-renowned Swami Chinmayananda. She immersed herself in rural development work in Siddhibadi in 1985, and over the years has made monumental contributions in the rural, social, health, and economic development fields with her tireless and dedicated service. She is recognized for her contributions internationally and nationally, including the Padmashri in 2008. Kshama Didi also is a founding member of STARS Forum and has actively supported the forum's mission since its earliest days. Dr. Kshama Metre, let me turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Prabhu. It is wonderful to be back with STARS Forum and Hari Om to my panelists, Priya Shah and Sumita Ghoshetu, and all the participants. It gives me great pleasure to inaugurate the 11th annual conference of the STARS Forum. And it gives me great pride too, since I've been associated with the STARS Forum for many past years. The topic is about livelihood and skills in the post-pandemic period. I would be talking generally about what the pandemic has been to all of us. It has disrupted lives all over the world. The lockdown especially hit many lives. For us in India, different regions had disproportionate types of responses, reactions, and sufferings, depending on the kind of unemployment, the resources at that site, and the sector that was involved. The most hit were the migrant laborers. And it made the pandemic has made visible how our laborers, our migrant laborers, the extent of their poverty and the extent of their vulnerability has become visible to all. It was very sad to see that they had to, during the lockdown, struggle to go back to their homes because they did not have a roof over their heads or were actually affected by hunger. The thing was that when they went back to their villages, they had their identities, the social security identity too. They were able to access their ration cards, and livelihood in their lives to some extent was extended by the rural development. So it is difficult to not be able to understand what kind of shift the balance of the kind of, the balance that we saw, the shift of balance we saw by COVID-19, that revealed that urban India, although important, need not be the sole area for job opportunities and livelihood. The GDP The farm sector was the only one that showed the growth at 3.4%. India's GDP fell down drastically during the lockdown period, contracted down to 23.9%. In the second quarter, that is after July to September, it showed still this, the GDP is still quite dismal, but certain improvements have been there, and not so bad, with a 7.5% contraction in GDP. But what was most important is that rural India emerged as the savior of Indian economy. However, this rural surge that is sometimes referred to as the green shoots was driven by a lot of rural development schemes, cash transfer to the poor, free rations, subsidized rations, a lot of other schemes that came up, Manrega, etc. But all the points drove home to all of us that India must realize that we need to build a more robust and resilient villages, and the country move towards more holistic growth in rural India. There are certain positive stories to tell in rural India. One of the things was that the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme showed a paradigm shift in building livelihood assets for individual villagers. Besides the collective community livelihood assets being built with watershed, the usual watershed and ponds, but the fact that they looked at each of the villagers who demanded their jobs and have helped them to build their livelihood assets will go a long time to change out of their economic status. Another very big positive shift that all of us who work in rural India saw was that a big leap occurred in digital learning. Even women, simple village women, some illiterate, learned the fact how to communicate with us, connect with us for training, and their communication skills improved. Even what we saw was persons with disabilities were able to build up their own skill in this area. But nevertheless, we need to do whatever it takes to rejuvenate growth and support livelihood and skill development all over the country in all the three main sectors: farm and allied, the agriculture sector, the service sector, and the manufacturing sector. One of the other things that I think COVID pandemic has brought out to us is that we cannot anymore look down at climate change and the way it's going to hurl down onto the whole planet. USA saw what happens when you take economics above all other things, even human lives. So certain other growths will take place, hopefully, in renewable energy. Solar energy would be a good idea for India to develop it for its farm irrigation, processes of storing, and post-harvest management. A lot of innovative approaches have to be created. One has to begin to assess and analyze what is the situation now, what are the strengths that we have, what is the kind of way ahead, and forward we want to build, what are the resources available to us, what are the kind of resources that we will need, and the kind of changes that we would need in our livelihood sectors in different areas and at different levels of people's growth. Whenever I think of India, I would like to think about our richness in diversity and the richness of India in many other fields. These need to be leveraged. Model for India is in India. India has poverty, but India is not poor. India has illiterates and semi-illiterates, but they're not without knowledge and wisdom and insights. One needs to explore different strategies in different contexts. One size does not fit all. There are no magic bullets. Local solutions to local issues need to be leveraged. Both traditional and non-traditional ways of earning can be fostered with modern knowledge, skill upgradation, using technology wherever required, and digital media when required. What I want to emphasize is that we have to become more people-centric and India-centric to create jobs, livelihoods, which will then offer many more opportunities. We need to have the concept of weaving development around people and not people around development. The key lies in participatory development, management, and control in most instances. Now, let us look at the different kinds of jobs at different levels that one sees when working mostly and primarily in rural India. For the marginalized farmers and small farmers, to move from sustenance to sustainable livelihood, one needs multi-pronged approach. That means to upgrade their skills and their productivity and marketing and farm and allied sector, as well as the non-farm sector. Our experience over the years have shown that this kind of model not only takes the family into better lifestyles, better nutrition, but it also gives opportunities to their children to go up for higher education and create a level of change in the families. The second level that we have in our country is that of small businesses in towns and villages of India. They are another lot that needs to be fostered, nurtured, and built. And one would be surprised to know that there are more than 2,000 types of artisans in India. Time we begin to tap their potentials, build up their skills and their marketing. At the other level, we will have to create high-level jobs too, visible both in rural and urban India. But for that, a lot of upgradation and change in attitudes for education and skill building will need to take place. NASSCOM in its survey had found that 90% of our graduates and 75% of our engineers are unemployable. That's a sad state. We need to create jobs that fit into the demand area, which are relevant and aligned with the needs of the country. We also need a lot of not only job seekers, but job creators. Just as we had the exodus of people, of migrant laborers going back to the villages, we also can have number of very highly developed people coming back to the roots in rural India. For instance, I'm very happy to see the way Mr. Sridhar Bamboo in Johor has developed an university for rural youth to be trained in highly skilled jobs, which is practical 18-month training that actually gives computers to this youth for the first time, but they're trained so well that by the end of some months, they're able to create and write their own codes. These are the kinds of interventions that we will need. We have a great potential. We need to only provide opportunities to our people. Let us all work together to build our India that had a GDP that was the highest till the 1500 CE. Then till 1750, we were with China, India, with having high GDP. And then, of course, in 1900, we dropped down to a very low GDP. But it is not that we cannot rise again. And so, with great hope and optimism for optimal utilization of our skills and livelihood, I wish that we all come out of it and we come out of this recession and do not go into depression at all. Thank you.